He- uh-uh. Hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Let's see. Let me see who was here first. Wow, already 520. You know, I hate to say it, but there seems to be more people later in the day. That is a trend that I'm noticing. Maybe not. Maybe it's just because of the glow from the Invictus Games. Hard to say. Maybe it's because you imagine me in swimwear and you never seen me in swimwear. Huh. I better remember that too. Okay, so hey, Vinny Blair is here. Thank you. Lydia Washington. Yalevi is here. Antonio TC and Shelbs Bells, Lynn E, Mary H, Black Anonymous, and a host of friends and others. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll down, make sure that I don't miss any super chats or super stickers, and we'll see who was in here last. Who came in last? Educate you too. Thank you so much. Good evening to you as well. All right, Mystic Toxin. Hey, I made it. I miss watching the show while I'm cooking dinner, but I don't mind the late night TV feel. Oh, okay, cool. And the later shows give. All right, thanks a lot. And MR, thank you very much for the very timely Cash App. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so I think I have everything I need. Can you believe my slides are up and ready to go? Well, Princess Meghan delayed return. Well, she may have not, but that's the speculation. And of course, Charles and Camilla is in France. And let's see, apparently William took the money. That's what Harry's book said, and some other stuff. So let's get to it, shall we? Try to see if we can shave this down to an hour. Wouldn't that be cool? Hey, Catherine and Brian, I'm so glad you're here. All right. So Meghan Markle delayed her return to the U.S. to make secret pit stop to this location after the Invictus game. Now, whether or not they have a date or time, that has not been confirmed in any way that I'm aware of. If that is the case, it doesn't matter. At this point, they are safely ensconced in their beautiful, stately, palatial Italian villa style manor house in California, Santa Barbara County, in the city of Montecito, where there are no leaks. There are no leaks in Montecito. So we don't know if they're home or not. Matter of fact, who knows? Who knows? Judy Muscassid, let's see, Baron, you and the mods are the best. Well, thank you. Thank you as well. And thank you so much for being here. And also, thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. And happy late Wednesday night. Or, um, oh my goodness, is it already Wednesday? Or early Thursday morning. What was I thinking it's Tuesday? Good grief, this week has gone fast. So, those are those photos that just kind of surprised us, commencing day before yesterday. And then, of course, yesterday, I think it was, the big group photo appeared. Well, let's see, the big group photo may have been yesterday. And then there's this one on the right, which was from the day before. And anyway, that of course is a shelter. Well, not a shelter, but it's called the Trevi Cafe, and it is a very polite way to say that you can get food, you can get coffee and nourishment, but there's also ways for you to take a bath, or perhaps you need clean clothes, or you need hygiene products. They have all that stuff there for youth that may find themselves homeless or in fear of violence and so on. And my best component that I love about that place is that it was founded in part by lawyers, people who will help them navigate the legal system, something that you may find is lacking for a youth on the run or youth in trouble. They don't know the law. They have these assumptions. They listen to their friends. And next thing you know, they're in far more trouble than they are aware of because, well, they don't know what their rights are. So that is something we all know that they have psychologists and all those things, all vitally important. But the idea that along with a social worker, you may have an attorney, who ever heard of such a thing? So I love that. And then there's this tender moment. Now, it to me, it looks like one of those little play kitchens with the clay with the play pot. And isn't that cute? It's a little miniature Dutch oven. And it's got some, I don't know if it's real cheese or not. I'm going to imagine it's not. So, what a diet. I didn't know that melted cheese. Oh, maybe it's a fondue. Yes, maybe the little girl practices making a fondue. A very sophisticated shelter that is. Well, there's no accounting for good taste, right? So, actually, we don't know if this little girl belongs to one of the visitors as a client or someone who is a volunteer or director or whatever, but either way, it is a cute, precious photo. Can't wait to see Meghan with little Lily Beth Diana. That's going to be cool. Hey, Joan Garcia, Anastasia. All right. And take a look here. They're still talking about it. Do you see the date down there? It says the 20th of September, 2023. How Meghan Markle owns the monochrome look, and that is Vogue France. So if it's in Vogue, then it must be something. This is what I'm saying, you guys. They tried, there's two things they tried this week. They tried to roll out that vicious bowl of jello, Mount St. Thomas Markle. They tried to roll him out, and that was a big fat nothing burger, thank God. And then, of course, Copycat was at it again, and she almost tripped over her trousers trying to pull a Meghan, and it didn't get it didn't get it. It just didn't because I'm not even going to go into the because it just didn't enhance the situation for her and it's it was all calculated. It was all calculated. Rush out and wear what she wears. Go and get that probably mentally ill, diabolical, sly father of hers and push him out in front of a camera. And well, let's see. As for today, I'm not aware of anything. So that was, and as people have been saying, the public is pretty fed up with it. So again, I'm going to abstain from going into anything about um, her father because I can't help but feel that that is part of the abuse is to have other people discuss it too. And then, of course, as for the copycat, that right there is just so disturbing on so many levels. But what pleases me, and the only reason why I can even mention it, is because it just does not have the same effect. And yes, Megan's tan trousers had wrinkled from riding in the cart or whatever happened, or maybe they were sitting in a meeting. And guess what? Did not matter. Did not matter. People still streamed and posted and even ran articles with that outfit as though it was Princess Diana's wedding dress. That's like one of the most famous wrinkled garments that meant absolutely nothing at the end of the day. Um, Meghan went uh, glam squad free on this trip. She wore things from the high street and from the boutiques and so on. Uh, and what happened? She has owned, and this is September. This is what the September issue of Vogue is out now. This is September. This is the height of the fashion season. And who's on everybody's lips? Rachel Meghan Markle, aka the Duchess of Sussex, and as I love to say, Princess Meghan. That's who everyone's talking about. All right. And of course, right here, as I said, there were some items that were more affordable than others. Like Meghan Markle just wore a chic pair of $22 hoop earrings from Amazon. And well, as we know, Megan was hanging out with Jeff Bezos not long ago. But like everybody else, I'm sure Megan shops at Amazon. You know what? Okay. Let me just say, as much as people love to hate Amazon, I am not one of them. I love when I forget I ordered something, and then there's that, or the doorbell rings, or your phone alerts you, and it's like, oh my goodness, that's that. I bet that's that cell phone case I wanted. You know, that is so liberating. And I promise you, if it wasn't Jeff Bezos, it would have been someone else. So we have Amazon, and yes, I feel like I might want to stop my premium payments or whatever you call it. And yet, for a constant, I think I've had that going as long as I've had Netflix, and it's not likely to stop tomorrow. So I'm enjoying my Amazon, and I feel so much better about it, knowing that well, he seems to be acquainted with my faves. So there it is. The Scout curated wears stone prism hoop earrings, fossil gold. Let me see. It's materials 14 karat gold. Uh, was it dipped wire, or is it? Yeah, I think it's dipped wire. Nickel and cadmium free, hyperallergenic, and let's see, the stone is fossil coral stone from the ocean. In other words, that is the settlement of a million years of evolution. Um, you'll find things like seashells all packed in there and so on. So very cool. And it looks I like the very aged, weathered look that it has. Even though it's carved out of a very small piece of stone, kind of like those watch cases that are made of stone. That always fascinates me how they can get the stone so thin like that. But grab a set before word gets out. That's what they're saying. Grab a set before the word gets out. So as you can see, I did a screenshot. It's up to you to grab that information. I probably won't add it later. Um, During the pandemic, Amazon was the only place I could get juice that I like, and they delivered it to me. I can't complain about Amazon. Patricia Smith, me either. I love it. And I depended upon Amazon and a few other services. Whether or not it made sense, it definitely made me feel safe. And I definitely took care of the person who delivered. On a hot day, I had cold bottled water. And of course, aside from the gratuity, I probably threw another five in there if I had it. So, yeah, that was seemed like it was so long ago, but it was it wasn't. Oh man, so there you go. And here, Meghan Markle wore a floral lace dress with peekaboo cutouts to the Invictus Game closing ceremony, and that's in style. Oh, actually, that one was published on the 17th. Wonder if I talked about that one twice. Oh well, just the same. I don't think I've seen this article before, but so this has been streaming ever since Meghan stepped out in that J. Crew. She has been the talk of fashion, which is exciting. I cannot imagine how that happened, other than the sheer weight of her personality, her ability to choose fashion that complements her, and of course the monochromatic. You cannot go wrong with monochromatic styles. So, um, three cheers to the Duchess of Sussex. And there is the head to toe look, a nude shoe, and of course the lace cutout. So cool. So simplistic. Doesn't have anything from the Blood Diamond collection over in Narnia. None of those things. And by the way, you all, Rita Ora, she actually posted this on her Instagram, Dusseldorf, Germany. Let's see, Rita Ora says, "Thank you for having me. Invictus Games, what a beautiful evening." Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And fortunately, everything went perfect. Well, I don't know how perfect. I didn't see the behind the scenes stuff, but from all I can tell, everything went extremely well. So perfect from my view. And then right here, Paul, who served in Royal Marines over 21 years, took part in the 2023 Invictus Games as part of Royal British Legion's Team UK. He presented the Duke of Sussex with the Royal Marines charity Oddballs, something to represent the Royal Marines and make him smile. The Duke of Sussex agreed to wear them for good luck and watched the race. Paul achieved a gold medal in the 100-meter freestyle and three silver medals in the 50-meter swim event. See, lucky pants do work. And I suppose those are the breeches right there that Harry is holding. And as you can see, he is almost doubled over with laughter. But, well, he was a good sport about it, and that's a good thing. So, um, very, very cool. Yeah, and I did listen to Sherry and Sade yesterday mention seeing Prince Harry on the plane, which was amazing. So if you all didn't get a chance to listen, Sherry and Sade gives an eyewitness account of the sighting of Prince Harry and David Wiseman on, I suppose, yeah, I think it was a British Airways flight. So that is something you can look forward to checking out. Um, and you all, thank you so much, everyone who was here yesterday. I had a blast. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I got so tickled with that whole New York fiasco. Even though they're trying to spend it, not spend it, but spin it all over the place. Well, we know better, don't we? So, um, uh, yeah, that's also another thing that happened during that time. What a weird time to be alive, but we survived it. If you're listening right now, we survived it. And for those who did not, especially those that are close to us, we have to live quality life every day. Yeah, that's one of the things that I try to do with grief is to remind myself that I survived and that I feel obliged to celebrate those people, to speak about people that we've lost, and live my best life every single day. That is something that you can do that won't take the sting away, but definitely it's a way to another way to deal with things. But yeah, nothing replaces having your loved ones. Joan Lawman, thank you so much. Member for 9 months. That is outstanding. Thank you. All right, and check it out. So James Dunlop, MBE, camera holding, documentary filming, PhD, music making, wife loving dad. Watch PhD documentary series on YouTube. Well, that's what it says. I've never heard of him before. This article, well, actually, the article is based on a series of tweets that he felt compelled to put up there. Now, one of the things that I was doing that took me a little more time than I expected was me actually taking those tweets, and then I found there was an article which made it that much easier, and turning it into this. The last 10 days has been quite eye-opening on the global treatment of Meghan Markle. I had some lovely moments with her and Prince Harry around and towards myself and everybody at the Invictus Games, but I see so much online hatred and bullying towards her. Some of it was even deliberately coordinated across multiple online accounts. No one should be bullied or berated online. It's foul. She's not dressed smart enough to meet veterans and their families. It was military-sponsored but effectively civilian sports event. The vast majority of spectators and veterans were in shorts and t-shirts, all quite informal. Why is a civilian in a military parade? It wasn't a military parade. The cycling medal ceremony had a small group march, probably 20 meters to the presentation area, German military individuals. Meghan was one of many civilian VIPs in these ceremonies. Seeing so much false information around their attendance and the games has certainly shown me just how prevalent online bullying is, especially on this platform. It's such a shame in 2023. I thought we were all better and kinder. Behind the nonsense online, I witnessed only thanks towards them. Standing ovations when Harry came onto stage and left, thanks that they made so many special moments at sports matches and handing out medals and taking the time to speak to so many people and have pictures. Online bullying needs to be eradicated. I saw coordinated online attacks. After events, I saw the same short edited video with the same description posted over multiple different social media accounts within minutes, taking up hundreds of thousands of views each, all spewing the same misinformed negative rhetoric, and funnily enough, the same British tabloid mentioned in their documentary spouting the same disgusting headlines, formalizing the nonsense. I seriously wonder what those journalists are thinking as they write this clickbait news. It's been so eye-opening to be able to compare the real-life treatment of two people, the gratitude I saw versus the online media version of events. Personally, I'm very thankful for them to spend an entire week with veterans and families from around the world, 21 countries, I believe. They brought fun, joy, and memories everywhere they went every time, watching different games and awarding medals. So, thank you. That's me in the background of those pictures, by the way. It seems a couple of the same coordinated accounts of hate that I saw in action have found this thread and are in attack mode, but I'm so pleased that our overwhelming positivity far outweighs the negative. Hashtag stop online bullying. I love editing videos. It completes me. Um, so that was from this videographer or photographer, camera guy. Um, he had a chance to see how this appeared up close and personal from being in the same spaces and hanging out with the Sussexes to turn on social media or, you know, tuning into his social media and then seeing this web of deceit and this campaign of hate. And again, this is not normal. There's nothing normal about this. So, for all of 5 minutes, I felt as though I was like in a twilight zone Monday. I expected there to be some flack from the tabloid media or the British media, which is kind of one and the same, but I didn't expect them to go there. But it was not. Um, it was short lived. It was short lived, which is a good thing because there was so much backlash that they didn't have the stomach to try to make it over several news cycles with it. And some people didn't talk about it at all, which is extraordinary. But they tried. They tried. But because you know, the Sussexes are resting up from everything that they've been doing and haven't been available um, for the PAPs and such, it just seems to have fizzled out. So good news. All right. Mignon Hein Murray, let me see. I am happy to be on the live. Thank you so much, Mignon, and thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciated, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, so and again, there he is right there with his high visibility vest. And there he is, right there in the shadow of our Duchess. And what an interesting job that he has, that he gets to, I guess, shadow around the Sussexes like that. Everyone said that the week that they spent with the Invictus, or even if it was just a couple days, everyone has nothing but great stories to tell. And this is why I was so adamant about not getting pulled into that thing with the reporter taking pictures from the sun, because that was a distraction for some. And I'm going to just tell you for myself, as soon as I found out they knew who he was, I had forgotten about him. I had forgotten about him until I think maybe yesterday. And that was much to do about nothing, because we found out that there were, what, over 1,000 credentialed reporters there. So some are good, some are bad. But because of the positive environment, there was nothing to be gained for the wicked, which is a good thing. If there was something, we'd have heard about it already. If they decide to try something later on, well, then we know it's all contrived and made up. The Sussexes were available to touch, to feel, to hug, to talk to. They literally sat in the middle of the bleachers. They didn't sit like in the front row like you see at an NBA game. They were right up in there with the crowd. And good for them. Good for everyone. Joan Lawman, thank you for being a member, and thank you for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. So yeah, you guys, please try to stay positive. Don't let them steal your joy away, because we waited too long for everything that happened this month. And why let that get snatched away from you because of the 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 demonic souls. I was listening to Anita of My Duke and I, and the way she described some of the people was, I she used the word that's or a name that started with K. I'll let you watch it for yourself, but I was just like, okay, now there's I guess there's a couple of ways that you could interpret that, but she used the word that starts with a or name that starts with a K. But yeah, I love when Anita just like rips on someone or a situation because it is from deep inside, and this is why her channel is growing so fast because she has so much heart, and she loves the Sussexes, and she literally made um, Meghan smile. Ironically, interestingly enough, at the UN. So that was the other occasion when I heard that laugh, and I said, "That sounds like Anita." Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. Oh, there I go right there. Top of the morning to you and the rest of the day to yourself. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Sharon Young, thank you so much for being here. Sharon wants to say hi to a couple people. Um, while that video was playing, I went and got me a few of those. You ever eat those sesame sticks? Now they're starting to repeat on me. I love sesame sticks. They're almost as bad as Pringles. Once you open them up, you just can't stop. The good thing is that they're so filling that you can't eat so many of them, but I love sesame sticks. So, okay, let me continue. But that was a very interesting revelation that this guy has had about the Sussexes. And in particular, he has seen the way that Meghan has been targeted, viciously targeted by this online hate campaign, and of course the the images that he was able to see live and in person, things that he recorded, bared no similarity to these negative accounts. And I, I've I must say that at first I thought it was just the use of Princess Meghan. I noticed that just this past week, it seems like the bots have gone crazy. These are those accounts that don't have a name, they just seem to be a bunch of odd numbers bunched together, and they repeat the same talking points. So you could use the algorithm, the AI, perhaps to identify certain things that is on the video or in the comments or whatever, and it will target. It doesn't need any human intervention to make that possible. So all we could do is just delete them as we go along, but I have been doing that a lot the past few days. So in case you didn't notice, I put Anita of My Duke and I at the top of the page. Feel free to hop over there at any time you choose. Let me see. Oh, the Al Jazeera. Okay, that's going up next. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. That was really good. Al Jazeera. That's the article where they're talking about um, how the royal family seems like it should be in hospice. Well, not the family, but the institution should be on life support or taken off life support. I even heard someone say something very ghoulish, interesting, and kind of funny. They said that the um, the monarchy died years ago, and what we have is someone actually just making a corpse dance. I'm like, ooh, that is grotesque. I love it. Um, Speaking of love it, Thank you so much for the super chat, Black Queen. There in my timeliness just popped up the side horse in France. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. In France, look at the dress, kind of like Meg's yeah, funeral dress. Absolutely, yeah. The navy blue that she wore. Actually, I'm gonna share an image of that later. Let me see. Oscar goes to the makeup artist. Probably now a shortage of makeup in Europe. Probably a shortage of things like flour, and I'm gonna say perhaps Elmer's glue or whatever bonding agent that they use to put that spackle on her. Yes, there's definitely a shortage now. But yeah, I am definitely going to get to that one. Um, uh, Probably in about 30 minutes, I think. Well, it better not be that long because we're not going to be on that long, I don't think. Even though I don't know what in the world we have been talking about for 40 minutes already. I tell you, the time goes by so fast. But thank you so much for that, Black Queen. Thank you for being a moderator. And thank you so much for the super chat. Okay. So let's continue here. Now, oh, look like I can get me some more sesame sticks. Hold on, y'all. So right here is something of real concern that there may be a number of secret agreements between the royal family and News Group. I thought it was News Corp, but okay, News Group. Um, what is that? Something Zazilla investigation investigates Prince William's settlement with Rupert Murdoch News Group in this week's slow newscast. Oh, that's why they call it tortoise, because it's a slow newscast. And there you have it, William and Rupert, the prince and the press baron. And that's on tortoise. So they have one that's 6 minutes long, and then they have one that's, oh, let me see here. Oh my goodness. Mm, wow. Okay. Uh, AL, of course, I don't want to use your name, but let me see. Baron, I want to say thank you. I've been watching and listening for over a year. Then, I subscribed and finally joined a few months ago. Let me see. I'm trying to open up the rest of that, but I had trouble with that yesterday. I couldn't open. But thank you so much for the PayPal. Very nice PayPal at that. Thank you so much. And thank you for supporting, watching, liking, clicking, and hopefully sharing the channel all this time. That was very nice of you. Thank you so much. I have been very bad about getting back to people in the uh, PayPal, and I do apologize for that, everyone else. But it has been busy the past couple weeks, so at one point I'm going to sit down and take care of those. But thank you ever so much, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Oh, the sesame stick. I mean the soundbite. Not the sesame sticks, the soundbite. I'm not going to get any more sesame sticks. I got sesame sticks coming out of my eyes, so I'm not getting any more of those. I will play this soundbite for you. So, Pedo, I know Pedo put the link on her channel. At least she said she would. So hopefully she has. But this has been making around. I did retweet it. And at some point, I'm going to do like a screenshot and everything like I usually do. And I will put that on my community tab so that you will be able to find it. And so I just have to decide, do I want to do the 6 minutes or the 2 minutes? Let's do the 2 minutes. Yeah.
One that's up.
Okay. Here we go.
Prince William's, we think, is one of them. Another person connected to the case told us that the money most likely went to charity, that Prince William is unlikely to have held on to the money himself. And there is one charity in particular which would be an obvious recipient of any money, and it's the Royal Foundation. So a charity run now only by Prince William and his wife, Kate. And it's one that supports a range of causes they're very interested in. There are two causes that they're especially interested in. So for Prince William, it's the Earthshot Prize, a big environmental prize. And for Kate, his wife, it's the Early Years Program. Now, when I looked at the financial accounts for that charity in 2020, when Prince William is said to have received the settlement money, there's this really unusual note in one of the budget tables that says a certain grant funder made a donation of £1,090,000, and that the money was designated for two causes. Most of it, £750,000, was for the Earthshot Prize, so Prince William's cherished cause, and the rest was for the Early Years Program, so Kate's cherished cause. Now, again, we don't know if the sequence of events is true because Prince William's communication secretary declined to comment on it, whether to confirm or deny. And one person at the charity didn't have direct knowledge of the donation, only described it as certainly credible. So if the sequence of the money going from a settlement to a donation, mainly the Earthshot Prize, then it's an interesting, right? Because money ultimately came from Rupert Murdoch. He is the
So I don't know why that was so choppy like that, but yeah, it seemed like it was a little lag in it. But just so you understand, in Harry's book, Harry found out that William had a secret settlement with Rupert Murdoch's News Corp for somewhere north of £1 million. And it seems as though that Harry, who likewise wanted to sue, Harry, who had been away in the military, Harry, who have been left out of the loop with the rest of the family, well, essentially, they were telling Harry that, oh, just try to not think about it. Don't worry about the articles, the lies, and all of the phone tapping. They were telling him not to pursue it. And of course, at the time, because Harry was in the institution, he would have had to use their lawyers. It wasn't until Harry hired his own lawyers, Harry and Meghan hired their own lawyers, that they were able to really take on that protection racket known as the British tabloid media. And guess what? They won both times. Has it been two times? Yeah, so they won. Well, let's see, the letter and Harry. Oh, I think Harry still has an ongoing case. Yeah. So anyway, but he won the right to bring suit. Gosh, I'm losing track because he's been in court. And then, yeah, okay. So the point is, they did not want him to get any type of settlement. Now, as we found out, and I believe Petal mentioned this earlier, when they pay out $1 million, that is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. In America, it doesn't seem like a whole lot. There was a woman who got a $65 million settlement from a company that fired her that made government, what is it? They made products for the federal government. And there's a law for whistleblowers that if the government sues a private company that has made products for them, whether it's a weapon or a toilet seat, that they've been overcharged for, or they were billed and there was nothing delivered. If they find out, if they can make that case, then the whistleblower gets a portion of the payout of the fine or whatever. So this lady, she was acting on her conscience and got $65 million. So in the US, they pay big money for everything. It's not a matter of if you're going to pay, it's how much you're going to pay in most cases. If it goes to court and they find that person liable, chances are 9 times out of 10 somebody's going to get paid. So it's very different in the UK. They don't get as much, and of course, because of the way the law is made, it's actually a worse outcome if you lose than it would be here in the US. So, and plus the juries here in the US, when they are trying to send a message to an industry, whoever is in the court, whichever company is in the court, they will make them pay through their teeth for whatever offense, as a message to all the other companies. And then sometimes the judge will knock it down. But then look at what happened with Fox News. What was it? $787 million they had to pay. So they pay big money in the US. They pay big money. They kind of rip people off in the UK. But either way, it's not so much about the money, it's about the fact that you've had your day in court. Which reminds me, if you guys are new to the Sussex squad, if you are interested in knowing exactly what Harry testified to, was, I guess it was a deposition. I made a video that is about 2 hours long. Oh, I forgot how long the video is. It took a month of Sundays to put it together, but it is the transcript of Harry in court. And even though it is okay, the complete opening statement, there it is, the complete opening statement. I will put the link in at the top of the chat. So if you want to hear his opening statement, but warning, it is about 2 hours and 40 minutes long. But unless you want to read it yourself, is about 2 hours and 40 minutes long. But it took a couple of days to edit and everything, and I will share that with you. It's very interesting. You will hear Harry in his own words describe exactly what they put him through, or a great deal of what they put him through. It is heartbreaking. It is very sad, because this is someone who couldn't trust most people because he didn't know where the leaks were coming from. So there it is at the top of the chat. And these are things, I remember when they said that they were going to leave Harry and William alone and let them just go to school and be kids. We found out that that did not happen. We found out that that did not happen, that there were some wheeling and dealing going on behind the scenes involving Camilla, Charles, and some spinmeister that they had. This is a stain on the United Kingdom. Their tabloid media, their media is a stain. It is one of the worst toxins that does not involve someone picking up a musket or some other weapon. It just goes to show that pen is definitely mightier than the sword. It is so damaging. They have ruined families. You could not even calculate exactly how much damage that people like Rupert Murdoch have done, people like Lord Nappyhead has done. Bessie Knox, let me see, does go at these two nuns. What is that, Steph? I don't know what that is. Uh, I don't know what that means. But anyway, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't understand what that meant. All right. I am going to continue. So that is the tortoise. And again, you could either go and look over at Pedo Facts in 2 Cents, or if you give me a chance when I'm done, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to post the video that I showed earlier, and I'm going to put the link for the tortoise. Okay, to continue here. So, we are very proud to have supported the Invictus Games as technology partner. Invictus Games took place this year in Germany. We are an international sporting event for soldiers who have suffered. Let me see. Did I read that right? In Germany, an international. Let me see. Took place in Germany this year. Where did I get the we from? An international sporting event for soldiers who have suffered injuries or impairments due to illness of body and soul. Now, that is a great way to put that. Due to illness of body and soul. That is another way to put it. Gosh, I wonder who wrote that. So there are the guys right there. I guess for lack of the better word, a bunch of techies, a bunch of nerds, a bunch of. I wonder if any of them ever worked for cable TV before, or perhaps the phone company. But they are the ones that knew what to do and how to do to turn this stadium. And since we're on this photo on the right, I want you guys to take a look at that photo. Do you see how they have the arena subdivided into different parts so that you can have wheelchair basketball here, you could have rowing and all the other events that took place on the floor. So, and then the very top layer of seating, you can see that those are covered with those tarps so that it doesn't, have that like hollowed look. But yeah, they have that covered. And so it is a very big stadium. It looks like it has a retractable roof. It is their football, aka soccer stadium, and it is the Merkel Spiral Arena. Okay, Betsy Knox says, I was asking why she constantly goes at Harry and Meghan, and why was I put on a timeout? No warning. I thought you give some. I don't know. I don't know, Bessie Knox. I don't see most of what happens in the chat, and then sometimes the timeouts may have happened by mistake. I think I've actually blocked a couple people by mistake. So, yeah, I'm not aware of what happened. So whatever it is, I won't be able to see it unless I look through it later. So, if you were wrongfully timed out, I do apologize for that. But yeah, it's nothing that I could see right now. This is like a one-man band. I'm playing the harmonica, beating a drum, and a few other things all at one time. So it's kind of hard to keep up with most of that stuff. But thank you again for the super chat. And thank you for being a member of the Royal Sussex. Okay. I'm going to go to the next thing here. Oh, there it is. So there's a close-up view of the tech team. On the left side there, you can see the big monitors that they have right there where they can survey things. They had something like a Radio Shack. Well, growing up, we heard of Radio Shack as an electronics store, right? And Radio Shack was so cool because you could go there for transistors and wires and cables and connectors. That is a part of my youth that I used to love. Now, of course, you can just type in a description of what you needed to do, and you could find it on eBay and Amazon and other places that sell electric gizmos. Well, these are people who know how to put all that stuff together and make it work. These are people who could put on a concert that do, all the electronics for concerts, and where you guys saw the big giant LED sign and all that kind of stuff behind the stage, that wall of LED. There's so much that goes into putting on an event like this. Now, sadly, the first night, it was kind of a glitch in the broadcast, and it did not take away from the joy of it, but it was something that I noticed for the opening. But in spite of all of those people with expertise, the problem may be in the satellite and nothing on the ground. So if you were bothered by that, just remember that sometimes it's out of their hands, and it may be something like a satellite or whatever that is causing the problem. But yeah, so big hand for these guys that made that possible. It really did take a village to make the Invictus Games possible. So cheers to them. Okay. Oh, and so this, I won't even play the soundbite because I don't speak Korean. Maybe a couple of you all do, but I don't. And so, aside from saying thank you in Korean, which I think is kamsahamnida, that's about the only thing I know how to say. And do not ask me why I know how to say that. Obviously, it's from a Korean restaurant. I love Korean restaurants. Let's see. South Korea is serious about hosting an upcoming Invictus Games and not being shy about stating their intent after hearing Na Hyogian Hyogian describe how disability is stigmatized in Heart of Invictus. I'm excited for what impact this could have beyond the games. And yes, as I said, as we all know, children can be very cruel, and having a parent or a sibling with a disability, um, it is something that young kids living in those households have to learn to deal with. And if they're the ones with the disability or impairment, it is something that may affect other members of the family as well. Um, we all may have experienced that at one time or the other. Whatever the case may be, um, the in some cultures more so than others, but in generally in every culture, there is some degree of people frown upon people with a missing limb or some type of disability. And so these games, just like I'll never forget the first time I heard of one of those summer camps for kids who have suffered burns. And the summer camp gave those kids who have suffered burns, burn victims, it gave them a chance to play volleyball, to enjoy bike riding and camping and all that stuff without feeling out of place, without people criticizing you and hiding from you and averting their eyes as though you're not human or you don't exist. What a novel idea to have a camp like that. Well, this, of course, is not for people that have suffered burns, although some people had suffered burns and other injuries. But the kids can see their parents literally fighting for their lives, fighting for their dignity, fighting for the family's dignity. All of those things you can see playing out at the Invictus game. And of course, even the general public who may not have anything like that in their household, they were given the opportunity to come down and see these people show that this is not something that is going to stop me from living my best life. This is just part of life. And so that is why the Invictus Games, and obviously there was something lacking in Germany where soldiers are concerned, where veterans are concerned, because they are going to have a permanent Invictus. They're going to have something permanent where once a year they will have people train, and once a year they are going to do their best, be their best, and they will have that group, that uh, agency, whatever it is, they will have that to be accountable to. They'll have that to look forward to. They will make friends. They will make connections. They can get in touch with counseling, which is one of the things that came with the Invictus Games. Invictus is not just once a year, once every 2 years. Invictus is a year-round um, service, a year-round foundation. Is year-round. It is. They get in touch with people, and they will stay in touch with them so long as they're welcome. They will be in touch with those people and try to help uplift them, help them with travel arrangements to get to the Invictus Games. Not based on who's the strongest or the fastest with their impairment, but who needs that the most. It's a screening process. And I, I don't play a direct role in it, but all of us, all of us who have promoted these games, have shared it, who have spoke about it, and for the ones who were blessed enough to go to the games, you all deserve a big pat on the back. All of us, because we're a part of this. We are a part of this. Even given our verbal support to someone who was on the fence about going, you've participated in this. All of the charities, even if you didn't give any money, you're a part of it. So that is something you should be very proud of. Is that we're not just here um, engaging with battle of keyboards with the derangers and such. That is such a small part of the Sussex squad, and not everybody. But for those that do, straighten people out, all I'm going to say is respect. I've always said sometimes you have to bust somebody's nose to make them respect you. Although I'm not here to support violence, but in a figurative way, is something about someone's nose running red that sends a message to other people. So, in a figurative way, but don't go after people. And as I say, when you engage with people, don't make it personal and don't threaten people. Just state the facts as you know it and move on. That's all you have to do. Let's see. Joan Garcia Barron, thank you for the Invictus Games. Harry and Meghan, constant coverage and humor. When I was under the weather, you had me, what is that, rolling on the floor? You and fellow squatties are supportive, loving, and healing. Thank you so much, Joan Garcia, and thank you so much for being a member, and thank you for the super chat. I'm so glad to hear that. I am so glad to hear that because it means a lot to me just to know that people tuning in makes sense and that is bringing some type of quality, um, as opposed to just any negative stories and, oh, did you hear what they said? Did you hear what they did? Uh, you know, on occasion, but I don't want that to be all of it. We need to take care of each other, and we do, and we really do. Let me see. Getting so far behind with the chat. All right, so I'm just gonna scroll straight through. All right. And so, anyway, South Korea's on board. Now, let's get to His and Her Majesty, not my king. Well, at least there was one person in the crowd, and they wanted to make sure that whatever watercolor markers they used on that signage was not going to run from the possibility of rain, or maybe they have that for a water cannon. Who knows what they were expecting? But not my king, or as they say in Welsh, Neiman Marcus. Neiman Marcus. That means not my king. Let me see. But before, I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything, because I know I did that. But what else did I do today? Uh, Sort by date created. Okay, so that is still there. All right, all right. I think we're good. I think we're good. I was hoping I didn't miss anything, and it looks like I did not. All right. So let me get back here again. All right, so there's that. And then, of course, there's always the possibility that someone will show up with some signage directed toward the consort. But those people with those yellow signs were not there. So she dodged that one. That's all I could say, is she dodged that one, because there has been at least one occasion where some people did not want her to think that she had gone unnoticed. Um, that did not really happen, but it's fun to think about, isn't it? It really is fun to think about, especially when the queen consort and the king has, how do we say it, returned to the scene of the, well, they're in Paris right now. I don't need to add anything else to that. And so the mother of the bride, the mother of the bride seems to have almost had another one of those Marilyn Monroe moments. Now, I don't know if anyone from Clarence House is listening, but hear me out. It was adorable when it happened to Marilyn Monroe. It was kind of interesting and a bit of a novelty when it happened to Kate Middleton. But on Camilla, it is absolutely disgusting. It is disgusting. As that young man said about Andrew, the sick old man, disgusting. It is disgusting. We do not, we do not want to see your petticoat. We do not. Um, I've seen the legs of a heifer before, um, and they are quite robust. Anyway, that's just too much. Otherwise, okay, she looks like Camilla. She actually has a hat like that, an outfit very similar in navy blue. And it has that weird, I don't know what that thing is going across the hat, but it's on an angle. It's a very odd thing. Well, I'll put you like this. I've never seen it anyplace else, but it's on a bit of an angle, and I mean it's okay. It's an embellishment that helps, I suppose. It takes your attention from other stuff. Uh, and what a gentleman Charles is to wait patiently to make sure that Camilla did not do a cartwheel down the steps. What a gentleman. Yeah, you know what, Denise? I just saw a documentary. Well, that wasn't a documentary, but the reason why Chanel was using chains is because the chain would go on the inside of the jacket to help it keep its shape. So if you were wearing a Chanel suit, there was a chain on the inside that would go across the back just above the waistline that would help keep the shape of the jacket and to also to weigh it down. And and I suppose that's how the Chanel chains originally started, was from her putting them inside. I mean, she was literally engineering her clothing line. But that was very interesting. I had never seen that before. There was a chain that went almost from seam to seam across the back of the jacket to help it hold its shape. But yeah, Queen Elizabeth, she would have them sew weights into her dresses to keep them from flying up. But this, I don't get why this keeps happening. Two things. She always has to hold her hat if it's the slightest wind, that is. And then of course the dress thing, because she wears that a cut or whatever it is. But yeah, so that's how she started her trip to France. That's what everybody was waiting for. Now, of course, dinner was at Versailles, and of course, Camilla Antoinette was available for dinner at Versailles, looking resplendent and somewhat regal in ever so beastly of a manner. But yeah, I just got to show it to you. I got to show it to you. She looks good. She looks good for Camilla. She's done something. She pulled the hair away from her face. Not that that's a good thing for the unsuspecting public, but she pulled the hair away from her face. She's not wearing a tiara. Okay. Now she still has that rather puzzling, balled up fist look. I mean, she is standing there like a sailor. You know how a sailor kind of stands with those big club-like fist hands in front of them, like they're gonna get into a barroom brawl or something. Well, she is still kind of standing like a sailor. She doesn't have the elegance of, say, Mrs. Macron, but she's doing her best. She's doing her best. But let me show you a close up. Okay, incoming, you guys. Incoming. This is the final warning. Incoming. She looks nice. She looks nice. And as Black Queen said, that face is spackled and pasted and covered and cemented and drywall. I wonder if they used any of that tape that they put in the hairline to pull the face back. But you can go ahead and record this if you want. You can mark it down. Call it at 10:15 p.m. Central Time. Um, I said Camilla looks good, and she does. She looks good. This is her best. Yes, we should not forget there is some level of Photoshop. It wasn't a fail. Thank you, Denise Marcus. But there is some level of Photoshop. But she looks good. I'm impressed. I am impressed. As they say, it takes a village. And of course, she's gonna have to return those shoes back to Ripley's, believe it or not, because those shoes were actually on exhibit at the Ripley's, believe it or not, museum. So the Ripley people are definitely going to expect for the Clarence House to promptly return those shoes to the museum when they have completed this trip. Um, yeah, because they were on display. And so they don't belong to her. You can just barely see them right there. But yeah, they actually belong to the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum, or is it the Museum of Natural History? Okay, maybe it's the Museum of Natural History. Well, either way, they're going to expect those shoes back because they are one of a kind. So yeah, they're going to want those back. And of course, the same source that provided those shoes for the state dinner, the royal visit, they're also the ones that provided those shoes for the coronation day. And as you can see, those were the coronation shoes. And then those are the and notice that they put some taps on them so that they won't mar those parquet floors at the Palace of Versailles, which is very thoughtful. We wouldn't want Marie Antoinette's floors to be marred by the likes of Camilla. So they are going to, be very careful with them. Yeah, so there's that. And then, of course, we know Camilla is a bit of a sloppy mouth. So I'm hoping that they gave her some elocution lessons so that she can communicate properly. And also, I hope that they've given her some etiquette lessons because she's always cramming food in her mouth and chugging and stuff like that. I mean, she eats like a hillbilly. She eats like a hillbilly. So it is necessary for them to remind her of what is expected by the host country because she can be a bit sloppy, right? Y'all know she could be a bit sloppy. So hopefully, because you know what I'm saying, um, there's enough problems going on in the UK. They don't need to be embarrassed by Camilla making a glutton of herself at the Palace of Versailles. So I'm just hoping that somebody has, gotten to her, and you know what I mean. Oh, let me see. Is this it? Oh, wait a minute. Oh my goodness, is that one it?
Thank you, dear guests. We have other friends that side that are playing find numbers. A very cognitive and creative activity.
Okay, that was not the video I was looking for. I was actually looking for the one where they sat her down next to that lady of African descent, and she seemed to be squirming and rather uncomfortable by the gesture. I love that one. Let me see if I can find that one. Oh, there it is right there. I don't know why I couldn't find it on the other one, but yeah. So, sometimes you draw the short straw. You know what I mean? Sometimes, in spite of everything that you have calculated, sometimes in life, you may find yourself drawing the short straw. And that's exactly what happened to this lady.
Yeah. Yes.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
There you are. So you really about here?
Yeah, I am.
Yes. Great family. So how long did you So how long
did you see the way she was shaking her head and leaning away from Camilla? Oh my God, when I first saw that, I was in tears.
Yeah. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
There you are. So you really about here?
Yeah, I am.
Yes. Great family. So how
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine? So, how they decide who's going to sit downwind from Camilla at Versailles is going to be interesting to find out. But because I'm telling y'all, she's a slob. Now, take a look at the bottom photo. She did not wear a tiara. So I'm going to tell you why I think she's not wearing those tiaras, because that is the only one that fits. Camilla has a very large head, and the queen gave her that beehive honeycomb pattern um, tiara to wear because number one, it's the only one that fits, and number two, I think when your mother-in-law gives you anything that references bee, I think they're trying to tell you what they. I think the queen was trying to tell her exactly how she felt about her by giving her a bee inspired tiara to wear. Uh, and don't forget, you guys. Now, last spring when they were supposed to go to Paris, they did not go. And it's a good thing because there was violence, and we definitely don't want anything to happen to the king and queen consort because if something happens to them, well, we're stuck with William. So um, they actually had those outfits that you see right here. They're practicing. They were practicing blending in to make good their escape. And the best way to escape is to pretend as though you're a civil servant, that you work for the sanitation department or whatever, or the Departement de Sanitation, or however they say it in France. So yeah, that was their plan. So they were actually practicing as garbage collectors to make sure that just in case violence broke out, that people would not notice Charles' gigantic hands and childbearing hips. Nobody would notice Camilla's mountain of peroxide hair, and they could get the heck out of there before something happens. Okay, so let me see here. Black Queen has a request. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see. Oh, there it is right there. Camilla will. Uh-oh. Camilla will never forgive Harry and Meghan. That's it. Okay, so let me skip to where it starts. Okay, I think this is good. From the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, this is my own feelings being expressed the only way I know how. All right.
That's it for now.
That was a labor of love. Thank you very much, Black Queen, for the suggestion. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So that was what happened in Paris. And in case you don't know, Versailles is actually not just the palace, but it's also the town that surrounds it. And so it's a suburb, I believe. And much like Windsor, it is a town unto itself. Now, as you know, every so often I like to hip you to a little bit of art. I know, who says you can't, right? Who says you can't put lipstick on a horse? That doesn't work. Thank you again for the super chat, YM Droid. So it says here, The Thankful Poor, 1894, Henry Ossawa Tanner. Henry Ossawa Tanner. Cynthia, thank you for the super sticker and thank you for being here tonight. And yeah, thank you very much for that. So it's a beautiful painting. And the artist, since we're on the theme of France, actually studied in France. And his name was what I just said. That's what his name is. Let's see here. Henry Ossawa Tanner was born June the 21st, 1859, and he died May the 25th, 1937. He was an American artist who spent much of his career in France. He became the first African-American painter to gain international acclaim. Tanner moved to Paris, France in 1891 to study at the Académie Julian and gained acclaim in French artistic circles. His painting Danielle in the Lion's Den, 1895, is missing. They say location unknown, was accepted into the 1896 Salon. And the Salon, not saloon, but the Salon, I believe that was like where it was an art school, right? And they would exhibit things in a salon. I believe there was a salon in the what is it? The the famous art gallery. Not the Orsay, the how could I forget the name of the art gallery? The Louvre. The Musée du Louvre. Tanner's Resurrection of Lazarus, 1896, is actually at the Musée d'Orsay, or the museum, the Orsay Art Museum in Paris. Was purchased by the French government after winning the third place medal in the 1897 Salon. Wow, so he had a painting that was so good that the French government purchased it in 1897. And in 1923, the French government elected Tanner the chivalry, whatever it is, of the Legion of Honor. So he was inducted into the Legion of Honor. And after pursuing art on his own as a young man, Tanner enrolled at the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts in Philadelphia in 1897. The only Black student, he became a favorite of the painter Thomas Eakins, who had recently started teaching there. Tanner made other connections among artists, including Robert Henry, and in the late 1890s, art patron Rodman Wanamaker sponsored Tanner's trip to Jerusalem. Wow, that's interesting. After seeing the artist's painting of the biblical themes. So he's had an incredible life. He lived to be age 77. In case you didn't get that math, and that is his family. His wife, I believe, was Swedish, and anyway, so that's his family there. His wife preceded him in death. But yeah, so what an amazing life, huh? And of course, to be the one of, the first of, a credit to, you know, that is a pressure. That is a pressure that happens so often to people of mixed race or people who appear to be of mixed race. Sometimes it will get you into spaces where they may not accept someone who looks more, you know, African or more um, ethnically one way or the other. And so it's always that pressure on that person. And in spite of all of that, you know what happens? At the end of the day, you are still not white, and they will remind you of that. And that did happen to him at one time. Someone spoke of his family. They said that that darky married a white woman, and that he seemed to be really intelligent and he was a good artist, but you know they did not like the idea that he was married to a white woman. So it's hard to know what his complexion was. I don't think there could possibly be any accurate color images of him, but he looked ethnic enough that it sometimes made his life difficult. But then also, there are always people that, in spite of the circumstances or situations, they, out of consciousness, out of guilt, or whatever you want to call it, they want to give someone with talent and ability a chance to succeed. And and that is one of the things that happened for him. Not only was he talented, but from time to time he would find himself in the proper circles where he could excel in the art world. So that is someone that you may not have ever heard of. Let's take a look at that painting one more time, and then I'm almost done, you guys that are up too late. I'm almost done. The Thankful Poor, 1894, Henry Ossawa Tanner. I love that. Now, see, that is something I would love to hang in my house. I love artwork like that. I like having artwork. And if you guys don't have any artwork in your house, go get some. Find something you like, not what you think other people will like, but something that you will glance at from time to time and you can enjoy it in your home. Just do it. Get something that you like, something that inspires you, something that gives you warmth, whatever. It's a good thing to have around. It makes it feel more like home instead of a hotel room or whatever. Some people are afraid to put art up. I'm not. I put all kind of stuff on the wall. Okay, so and lastly, and I do think this is last. Let me see. Yes, this is the last thing. So I do have a video that I want to share with you. It's a very short video. I shared it last night on the shorts. That is General Charles Q. Brown Jr. And he has finally been confirmed as the new United States Air Force um, Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's not the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That's McNeely or whatever his name is. But he is one of the Joint Chiefs. So the Joint Chiefs are the heads of the military branches: the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, and I think there's one for NASA, right? Well, anyway, they call it the Joint Chiefs of Staff. It is a position that Colin Powell once held. And so he is the top uniform person at the Air Force. And of course, he answers to the civilian Secretary of Defense and to the civilian president. The commander in chief has the ultimate word, but those are the people above him: the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and of course, the president. And so it's a very high ranking position. Um, it was what they were waiting for, was his confirmation. Of course, the Senate has to give consent before they will accept someone in those positions. So the president can throw the name, they can have an acting chief, but to actually get everything that comes with that position, you have to be confirmed by the Senate. So for those of you that don't know how it goes here in the US, he's done good. He done good. Are you asking me, is he a commandant? I don't know. I know he's a general. That is the title, is that he is United States Air Force General. Yes, let me find that video from last night. And then after that, you guys can get on your way. Thank you very much for watching Royal Sussex. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, everyone, for your very kind, thoughtful, generous contributions. Thank you for sharing. Oh, and before I forget about it, I did go through those steps and I made a donation to the Trevi, but I'm not sure how to share that with you. So let me have another day to work on that, because I did that in the wee hours of the morning. There isn't a place, I'll just tell you, full disclosure. Oh, thank you, Black Queen would know. Baron, I believe he's the Air Force Commandant. Thank you, Black Queen. You know what it does to me when you talk to me like that. So thank you for that. Throw a few more of those in there. You know, that always gets me excited when you talk military to me. Okay, so let me let me find my video from last night. Okay. Seems like it would be right there, and it's not, but oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, now which one of those is it? Okay, that's interesting. Oh, you know what? Did you all see that other short that I made? I made a really nice short just before I went on. Okay, I'm trying to do 3 different things at one time here. Let me start where I should have in the first place. Okay, so is this it? This is it. Okay. No, I guess it isn't. But yeah, so let me show you that short that I made. The other video, it is not so important. But let me show you this short. It is so cute. Now, to be honest with you, there was someone who had added this on the Twitter, and I just kind of hijacked it and moved it over here. Oh, but you're gonna love it. Wait a minute, do I have it over here? Yeah, I should. No, I don't. 1 second, you guys. 1 second. Oh, there it is right there. I love when it works out. Okay, here goes. I haven't been this excited since Oprah's farewell season.
My wife and I.
My wife and I. For me and my wife. I'm so proud of my wife.
My incredible wife.
An amazing wife.
The soulmate in my wife.
Thank you, my love. The mother to my children. The love of my life.
And what I know about the two of them, and I wish the world knew how much they love these two people love each other. They found each other out of all these odds, gets them finding each other. They found each other, and the love that they have is really, really moving. And I just wanted to do anything I could to support them.
Isn't that funny? Sometimes you know when you meet someone.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you can see like what love is, and
Right.
you can tell right away.
Yeah. I don't have that. What she and Harry have, I don't want it.
Isn't that adorable? One more time, you guys. One more time. Oh, thank you, Black Queen. Commandant, aka Chief of Staff. Love it. Okay, here goes. Oh, wait, that's not it.
My wife
wife, my wife, my wife and I, my wife and I, my wife and my wife and I. For me, my wife, me and my wife. I'm so proud of my wife, my incredible wife, an amazing wife, soulmate in my wife. Thank you, my love, the mother to my children, the love of my life.
And what I know about the two of them, and I wish the world knew how much they love. These two people love each other. They found each other out of all these odds against them finding each other, they found each other. And the love that they have is really, really moving. And I just wanted to do anything I could to support them.
Isn't that funny? Sometimes you know when you meet someone.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you can see like what love is. And
Right.
You can tell right away.
Yeah, yeah. If I don't have that, what she and Harry have, I don't want it.
So this is love. Do, 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 do. Yes, you're so right about that, Joan Garcia. The idea that Harry speaks of love, that he is so romantic by nature, is overwhelming for certain people, and that seems to rub a lot of people the wrong way, but it's what he feels. And thank God that Harry has enough love in his heart, has enough confidence in his being to say exactly how he feels about his wife, and that he's not afraid to say so. He's going to speak it. He's going to yell it from the rooftops, and he doesn't care who doesn't like it. Now that's love. That is love. And it's a good thing. It's refreshing. It's reassuring that, that at least somebody's got it. So when I saw that little clip that someone posted of him, declaring his love, I added that little Tyler Perry at the end of it because it just seemed like it belonged. So I did change it a bit and just add the little background music and the Tyler Perry voice, but it seemed very appropriate. So this is what I wanted to show you. This is it.
House for the gold medal match, the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, enjoying sitting volleyball action here at the Warrior Games Challenge. And our special guest in the house for the gold medal match, the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, enjoying sitting volleyball action here at the Warrior Games Challenge. And our special guest in the house for the gold medal match, the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, enjoying sitting volleyball action.
So that's who Harry is sitting next to. Harry is sitting right there next to General Charles Q. Brown Jr. Look at that quilt. When you see all of that on his chest right there, they call it the quilt. That means that you have received a mountain of honors during your service. And by the time you pin it all on your uniform, it looks like a big quilt. So, and notice what do you call those, Black Queen? Is it an epaulet on his shoulders? That is where the 4 stars for his rank, 4-star general. I think we've only ever had one with a 5-star, and that was Eisenhower, right? But yeah, that indicates his rank, 4-star general. That means he is the very top. He's at the very top. He's a 4-star general. So yeah, he's been through it. He's experienced and ready to serve. And speaking of experience and ready to serve, take a look there on your left. I said your left, your left. No, your other left. No, your left, not the right, your left. Yeah, there you go. There's Joe Biden. Could Donald Trump stretch like this? No, absolutely not. Trump can't do half of the things Joe Biden does. So, yes, Lady T, the left. So apparently, Joe Biden is ready to be reelected. And MH, thank you. very much for the Cash App. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So, yeah. And with that, you guys, I am done. That is it for tonight. Let me see. Antonio says left, move to the left. Actually, this guy, I think he's like a bodybuilder. And well, let me just put it to you like this. I don't think he knows that he has a Biden hat on. Someone has taken license with his photo, but you know, you gotta do what you have to do to help people take notice. So I don't know who would have done such a thing, but somehow a plain blue hat has become a Biden for president hat. But whoever did such a diabolical thing, thank you. But and this guy is of mixed race, in case you can't tell. He himself is of mixed race. I forget what his name is, Conrad something, but I believe his mom is white and his father is black. So yeah. So which is there's increasingly more and more people of mixed race heritage in this country every day. So this is why I ask people, please don't get into the Kamala Harris, you know, that's the black woman vice president, okay? And yes, she happens to have some Asian too, but whatever. She's not a European woman. And even if she was, as long as her policies and her plans and stuff is consistent with my values, I would vote for her anyway. As you know, I'm a big fan of Hillary Clinton. So, so that's that. Thank you very much. Love you guys. Thanks for watching Royal Sussex. Let me find a good last. Well, that caught me out the corner of my eye. Let me find a good last. Okay, that's the last word of the day. I get the message. I am going to the gym tomorrow. I am mixed race, so I am. So I better represent. All right. So thank you very much for that. And that's our last word of the day. And let's see here. I guess we can cue the Ginger Avenger. Let me see. To the left, to the left. Everyone in a blue cap to the left. To the left, to the left. Oh, man. But, well, as you can see, it worked. It does get your attention, doesn't it? It definitely gets your attention. Oh, thank you, Janice Goodrich. 38,000 subscribers. Okay, so once again, no bad energy. Please try to stay positive, you all. Try to stay positive. As you know, we are drifting into the fall, and eventually it's going to be winter. And we all know what happens during those months. It seems to have an effect on some people, some more than others. I myself sometimes feel rather out of it on days in the fall. It's my favorite time of the year, and it's also a very sentimental time of the year. So, as I say, we have to look out for each other. If there's something negative that is causing you anguish, please try to stop watching it. And don't get like pulled into all of those articles and everything. It's clickbait, right? And it's designed to strike you with an emotional cue so that you will feel the need to go and look for answers in other places, and you always end up back at the place that has caused you the harm and originally, and that is just no way to live. So sometimes when things seems hopeless and things won't change, remember the pendulum always swings in the other direction. a broken clock is right at least twice a day, and so on and so on. Okay. What's that? Baron, on your plan, have you updated how many hours? On my plan, update how many hours? I don't know what that is. Is it my phone? Is it my StreamYard? I'm not sure what that is. Oh, good night, Adrian Burrow. Good night, Jim Garcia. Teresa McDougall, thanks again. Good morning, Connie Balmer. Connie Balmer, let me see. Me going to have breakfast. Very good. Well, I had for breakfast, I'll tell you what I had. I had some of that Black Forest bacon, right? And I cooked some eggs sunny side up. And I had a couple of those, what do you call, crumpets? And I put like some cheese on it, bacon, and eggs sunny side up. What am I saying? I did have two of them. Some eggs sunny side up on top of the bacon and the cheese. And I just took a knife and fork and tucked into it. Oh, is it good? They sell crumpets at the Trader Joe's. I had never had them before. But really, they're just like an English muffin almost. But they're good. And they got lots of holes that are baked into them, those little like holes from the air bubbles. And that is just perfect to hold things like butter and preserves and whatever else you put on it, like some Nutella. I haven't tried it with Nutella, but I bet that's good. So if you ever go to France, they love Nutella. If you stand still long enough, they'll smear Nutella all over you and try to bite you. Just like if you wear a Biden hat in a tank top, someone may smear Nutella on you and bite you. Oh, man. Okay. 18 million. Oh, is that what that was? Let me go back. What did you say? 18 million? I'm so sorry because I'm glancing at the chat, but I'm not looking at it constantly. And then sometimes, oh, that 18 million. I get you. I know what you're talking about. Yes. And isn't that weird that it, well, I'll show you. Okay, so that's the 18 million. And what is it now? I think it's like 21 million? Billion? Wait, it's did I put million? It should be billion, right? Oh, has that been wrong all this time? Has that been wrong all this time? Lord, I think it has. Let me take a look here. Because it should be billion. It should be billion. And oh, by the way, do you know there's another 349 subscribers since yesterday? 349. Ooh. Okay. Let me see here. Go to analytics. Okay, yeah, that should be billion. That should be billion. So over the lifetime of Royal Sussex, oh no, it's not billion, it's million. Look at me getting ahead of myself. 23.1 million views. That's the views. But the watch hours are 5.3 million watch hours. I thought something was a billion, but no, I guess it's not. So yeah, 23.1 million views and 5.3 million watch hours. That is the statistics. And 38,349 subscribers. So cool. Okay, where did I get billion from? I guess I was getting, maybe I was thinking about Trenchtown, man. By the way, Trenchtown is available on a short. So if you need to get your Trenchtown fix, there is a short that features Trenchtown, man. All right. Well, I am going to make sure that I sleep early tonight because I'm embarrassed to tell you what time I went to bed from yesterday. I am embarrassed, but it is not good. I needed to plant some fall flowers that I had purchased, and I was up late enough that I had enough light to do that. Okay, that should tell you so. I am actually kind of sleepy now, so I say I'm going to go to bed, but the next thing I know, I get that second wind, but we'll see how it goes. But I am not staying up all night tonight. That is for certain. Last night I was on a roll posting shorts. So what am I looking for? Okay, well, with that, you guys, I am going to say goodnight to you and love you all. I will see you tomorrow. Okay. You know, Black Queen, I'm going to tell you the sexiest title in the military. The sexiest title. Do you want to know what it is? I'm going to tell you. If you have this title in the military, there's no way you can ever go a weekend without having a date. How about this one? Y'all ready? You may not be able to fit this on a business card, but to me, the sexiest title in all of the military is Supreme Allied Commander of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Y'all hear what I said? The Supreme Allied Commander. Now that's hot, isn't it? What do you do? Well, I'm the Supreme Allied Commander of NATO. Oh. Yeah, Supreme Allied Commander. That is something that I mean, come on, Supreme Allied Commander. The first time I heard that, I'm like, that's a mouthful, right? I remember when General Clarkson was the Supreme Allied Commander. Now, he looked like he was right out of Central Casting. I like General Clarkson. He was going to run for president, but they ate him up. He didn't go that far. Yeah, Antonio, it's a mouthful. Supreme Allied Commander. Joint Chiefs of Staff is fun. Commander of the Joint Chiefs. I like that. Yep, I can't think of any other titles that are as cool as that. The Commander of the Joint Chiefs and Supreme Allied Commander. Those are the hottest titles in the military. Okay. Well, I'm going to go, and it is time to cue the Ginger Avenger. I made a short for that, too. I had to cut part of it, but I made a short for the Ginger Avenger. And since I made it short, why don't we do Madam Duchess tonight instead of the Ginger Avenger, right? Madam Duchess. All right. Good night, Doria. Good night, Diana. And cue Madam Duchess.